Okay, hi, this is Joe. Welcome to the webinar. Can everyone hear me? This will be an audio test. Hello, can everyone hear me? Okay, I know Jared's on. Jared, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put everyone on mute so we don't hear background noises and feedback. So I'm going to put everyone on mute, and then periodically I'll unrelease it so we can ask questions. Okay. Let's get started. Welcome, everybody. I'm glad that you were able to join. What we're going to do today is to talk about, we're going straight for it. We're going right into it. We're not going to talk about import. We're not going to talk about custom fields, how to set them up, mapping, or any of that. We're going to focus today on 5 specific topics. They will be sales template, marketing template, broadcast campaigns, touch campaigns, and lastly, we're going to talk about the customer support and the help screen. So with that, let me get right into the sales templates and how to use them. Okay, this is, as everyone knows, this is our home page. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to click on sales template, which is right here. Now with that sales template, when you pull that up, it's going to show you the sales templates that you have already created. Now what sales templates are used for, sales templates are less, what I like to call glorified than marketing templates. They don't have as much fluff, they don't have as much attraction, not as much formatting. Although there are some similarities, for the most part, sales templates are used in individual emails. And with that, because they are treated as individual emails, there will not be an unsubscribe button at the very bottom, which you will get as required in the marketing templates. So we could pull up the list of our sales templates that we have. So we're gonna add one, and so I'm gonna click on the plus sign right here, and this brings up our sales template designer. Now, why do we use sales templates? Sales templates are as I said, treated as emails, but this is how you could introduce yourself. You should and could have sales templates on individual products, individual services, workshops, things like that. You should have several sales templates. Of course, you should have your couple go-to sales templates that you could send, which are generic and pretty general. So with that, I'm going to call this one webinar today. Now, it's very important that when you send these sales templates out, you can personalize them. This is a really cool feature to further connect yourself with the person reading this. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say check this out, put a comma, and then I'm going to go over here and click on my personalize button. Now what this will do is after that comma, it will put any one of these fields after that comma. Now what these are your custom fields. Okay, so if you do not see it here, then you need to add it as a custom field. And we're going to have webinars on custom fields and importing and mapping and things like that at a future date. But this is how you would get to have this list populated. Most people just simply click on first name. So what the system does is it goes through, and when you want to send it to somebody, it goes and picks their first name. You don't have to do it. You don't have to remember it. Okay, it does it for you. Okay, so that we've completed that. We've given it a subject. We put a subject line in there, and we personalized it. Now we can start adding and formatting. You'll see here across the top, you'll see some formatting boxes. A lot of them look familiar from your word processing software, bold, italic, underlined, etc. I'm not going to spend time on that. Align left, center, right, justify, okay, things like that. I'm going to focus on some of the things that you need to do to make this very effective. One of the first things is you can paste from Microsoft Word. So if you had a Microsoft Word document already designed, already written, you could paste right from there. Okay, this is what I want to focus on right now, this mountain in the sun icon. This is when where you can insert things. For example, I'm going to click on this right now, and then I'm going to browse the server. Now what this does is we'll look at my hard drive to see what kind of pictures that I have that I want to upload. Now if you don't see it here, you can click on Add, and then it's going to ask you to choose file. So how that works is that you find a file, either a JPEG, a GIF, or a PNG file. You find it somewhere. And then what you'll do is you'll upload it into your hard drive, usually under your pictures folder. So then you could go ahead and choose the file. And then what that will do is it will put it in this box, ready for you to use anytime you want to do it. So with that, let's use this one. So I'm putting my mouse over that, and I'm going to click Insert. Incidentally, we have stock images for you if you wanted to be a little more general. So we have the different categories: education, food, healthcare, holiday, nature, people, real estate, transportation. We're adding more always. So if you wanted to click on something and use one of these, they're there ready for you. Okay? So in fact, let's use this one. Okay. See how easy that was? I just clicked on it and inserted it. Now I want to insert another one. And I want to insert this one off of my hard drive. So we're going to click right there, Insert. Okay. Now what you'll notice is that when I clicked on these pictures, there were different things that I could have done. For example, I want to insert another one. We'll click this one. Now watch what happens. Right here, you'll see width, you'll see height. That's how you make it the size that you need to make it once it gets inside your template. So as we saw in the first time I did this, it was rather large. Let's scale it down. As you can see, the software automatically keeps the aspect ratio of this file. So when I made this 400, the height was adjusted accordingly. So, and then I'm going to insert it. Okay. Now, that's how you would insert your pictures, your logo, things like that. Now, another thing that we could do, which is very popular, other than just typing your message in here, we can also do a URL link. So what we'll do is I will highlight this, and then I'm going to go over here to this little link icon. I'm going to click it. And then I'm going to put my website address or whatever URL link that you want. Okay, so then this in your sales template will be the website. Okay, they can click right on here and it's going to take them to the URL that you specified. Okay, so very easy to design. You know, of course, your basic formatting is still in play. Things like that. Okay, that's very Word-like. Okay, so we've created our template. We've put everything in there that we wanted to see. Now we're going to save it. Wonderful. Now we saved it. It's going to show us a few things. If we make changes, we can save it again. We can copy it if we're going to have a very similar one, maybe just change the words or maybe just change the URL. We can copy it instead of having to recreate all our pictures again. Or we can test it. Test is very important. And I recommend that you use it whenever you create a new template. If I click test, I could send myself an email and it will send it to me to see what it looks like when your customers receive it. Or you could preview it. Okay? So you could do all these things before you send it. Now, we've saved it. All right, now I created this gorgeous template, which is making me hungry. And now I want to use it. Okay, now check out how simple this is. I'm going to go to home. I'm going to open up my leads and customers. I am in list view for my leads and customers. And you say, wow, you know, I want to send Youth Mert. I want to send this, this lead an email. You click on that. You choose your sales template. Done. Okay. Now you can see here how it automatically put the first name. Okay. To her, Carol. You could CC or BCC if you want. Over here, you can choose to use a read receipt, save the subject, or save the body. You save the subject, it's just going to save this. And if you save the body, it's just going to save this. Now, down at the bottom, you can also attach a file. You click on attach file, and it's going to go to your hard drive, and you can attach whatever you need to attach. Okay? Very, very simple. I'm going to send this. Now, what's also really cool about this is that when you send it, that is going to appear in the notes section of this lead right here. You'll get the send dialog, and then I'm going to refresh. Click on Youth Mert. Okay, right here. So what that allows you to know is that when you open up your lead and you're in detailed view, you can say, oh yeah, I sent him an email March 6th at 10:14. Okay, so that allows you to keep track and remember what you've completed for this lead. Okay, now that is so much with sales templates. Very simple, very easy to use, very easy to design. Now the next thing I want to talk about are marketing templates. Now marketing templates, as I said earlier in the webinar, give you a little more fluff, so to speak. They're a little different in a couple different ways. I've already spoke about the unsubscribe at the bottom, but let's click into this, and I'll show you how to create one and how to use it. Now, you need to create a marketing template every time you want to use a broadcast campaign and or a touch campaign. Okay, it's recommended that you create a marketing template, and you can use these in those campaigns, and I'll show you how. So I'm going to click on marketing templates. Once again, just like the sales, it shows us the ones that we have, and I'm going to add one. Now, there's a few nuances here that weren't there with the sales template. Let's discuss those. First and foremost, you'll see right here the categories. You can see that all of them are checked. Therefore, it's going to show you all of them. Now, for those who have action coaches, for those action coaches who may be on the call, there are some action coach templates for you that are not listed here because I am not logged in as an action coach. I'm logged in as a non-action coach user. We will go over this Tuesday when we have our action coach webinar. So these are what we have for non-action coach users. If you've noticed, since all of these are checked, you're seeing all 4 categories worth of templates. Okay, so let's say we wanted to choose marketing template. Now, it's kind of important to remember what category that you created your template in, because you're going to have to remember that when you pull it up. And I'll show you what I mean in just a little bit. So these are the different templates that we have for marketing template. Let's choose this one. You can see Usage Design or Preview. Preview will show you what it looks like. We're going to click Usage Design. Okay, now, some of the same things apply. Okay, we're going to give this a name. Personalize it, the same thing. Comma, go over here. Let's choose first name again. Beautiful. Now, you'll notice that a few things. Number one, this is new. And as you can see, it says outer background header, left background, right article. Well, what does this mean? See, when I click here, I put my mouse in this area, it shows header heading. Now, if I wanted to format the background for header heading, I would go here. Now, you could see header heading background. You could see what color it is. So, if I wanted to change the header heading background, I just go to header heading background, and I could change this to blue. Okay, so this is what you could do for formatting for an entire block. Okay, the same thing with the fonts, header heading text, etc. So with that, I'm going to put my cursor in the header heading. Now, as you see, these four things popped up, and they'll pop up in every single block that we go to. That's called your edit bar. Okay, every block will have that. Okay, now, if I click on this one, it's going to move the header heading to wherever you want it to move to. If I click on this, it's going to copy this block. And if I move to this, it's going to delete this block. More often than not, you're going to play right here, the pencil. Now, I click on the pencil, and you will see that the edit box looks very similar to what we did in Sales Template. Okay, very, very similar. So if we wanted to insert something in this block, because we're in this block, we could do it the same way as we did with our Sales Template. Okay. However you want to slice it and dice it, however you want it to look, you can do that. Okay, you can make it big, you can make it small, you can change the fonts, sizes, however. Now, also within each block, you have the ability to add the URL like we did in the Sales Template. Okay. Now, if I go out of this block and I go to this block, okay, and I'm going to click on the pencil again, I am just editing this block. For example, now I am in banner. Okay, so then what I would do is I would go over here to my banner to change the text. Okay. So that's the formatting that you want. The backgrounds, same thing with the backgrounds. Okay, you change the background colors, font colors, everything. So what I want you to get out of this one is that you could do these edits to different blocks within your marketing template. Now, right here is where the unsubscribe link will appear. Now, don't be alarmed when you go to test this if your URLs that you've inserted and the unsubscribe link is not active. That's by design. They are not intended to be active. Okay, so don't be alarmed. Very often I get phone calls say, well, you know, it's not working right. They're not supposed to be active. When you send them, they will be active. Incidentally, that brings a point I wanted to make. It's a very good idea. It's a very good idea within your own systems to create yourself as a lead. Create yourself as a lead with your email address and put yourself in a group, because it's great to test it real life. Okay, that way you'll know and you'll be sure of your links, your URLs, if they're going to the right spot, and that you can see that the unsubscribe link is working. Okay, so we've designed our template. Okay, and we've given it all the bells and whistles we need to give. Okay. Let's save it. Okay. Same 4 boxes appear. Okay. Same 4 boxes appear. Now, we've created our marketing template, and we called it Webinar Now. Now, how do we use this? Okay. As I said in the beginning, marketing templates are used for broadcast and touch campaigns. All right, let's check it out. Now I want to go to broadcast campaigns. For those that are not aware, broadcast campaigns are a one-time email blast to a group or a filter. And I'm going to go over filters in just a second. See, this is my test account. This is how many broadcast campaigns that I've created. Let's create one. I'm going to add. Same things apply. Name. From. Remember I told you it's nice to remember the categories? That's why. Because you have to go in here and you have to remember where you created that last template. Okay? And then you click select. Okay. There's the one that we just designed. Here is our subject. We've already personalized it. You can see right here is our personalization right there. Now, with broadcast campaigns, you have options of who you're going to send these to. The most common way is to send these to groups. Groups are logical gatherings of your leads and customers. They could be, you could segment them however you'd like. They could be prospects, they could be customers, they could be old customers, they could be product specific, they could be whatever fits into your business model. Okay, so when this radio button is clicked, I could select the group. You could send it currently up to 3 groups at once. Okay, very often I'll get the question, what if I have a lead and customer in 2 groups? Will they get two emails from my broadcast campaign? No, they will not. They will only get one. The system recognizes that it's a duplicate email address, and it will not send it to the duplicate. Okay. Now, you can pick a group right here, or you can add a group by clicking here. Okay. So if your group wasn't listed and you wanted to add one, you can add one doing the plus sign. Now, another thing that you could do is, and I haven't usually talked about this when I talk about templates, but I'm starting to find that more and more people are asking for it. So I think I'm going to chalk talk this one real quick. Is the lead filter. Okay, well, we'll say the groups doesn't do it for you, and you want to delve in a little tighter. You want to hone in a little more acutely. So I'm going to go to lead filter, and I'm going to click on my pencil. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm going to add a new filter. Now, say you wanted to create a filter on those leads and customers that were created on a specific date. Okay? Incidentally, everything here that you see, all of these, are your custom fields. If you want to filter on something that you don't see here, you need to add it to your custom fields. I'm going to go there just so you know. You go to this home page, database, leads and customers, These are your custom fields. Okay. So every single one of these custom fields will be listed when I want to create a filter. Okay. Where was I? Okay. So I'm going to add a new filter. And like I said, I wanted to do created on. So I'll click on created on, and then I'll add it. Now you have some choices. Because created on is a date variable, we could tell the system how to do it. We could choose the current date. We could do a range. When the range comes up, you have these choices, these cookie cut choices. Or you could select your own. You could say from January of 2014 to March. Okay. So that is how you create your range. And then once you create your range, you'll hit run. So if you wanted to do just this month, you'll save it. And then you click save. Well, here, let's give it a name so we remember it. We'll hit save. Now you'll see what happens is it says, okay, run and view. So what this will show us is how many people were created on from March 1st to March 31st. And if we hit run and view, you'll be able to see what those are. Okay, so we defined our filter. Now we wanted to add it. Let me refresh this. There it is. Oops. Okay, so now what this is going to do is it's going to send your broadcast campaign to all of the people that were created or new leads created from March 1st to March 31st. I'm going to save it. Now look, we have options. Number one is we could schedule this. Schedule it at another date whenever we want this to go out. If we put our cursor here, it's going to give us a calendar. It's going to go at whatever date and time that you specify. Execute now means execute now. Means execute now means execute now. There's no turning back. Once you hit the execute button, it's gone. It's sent. So that's why I bring up the test. Put yourself in a group. That's why I give you these safety nets so you can pay attention and understand that everything is perfect before you hit execute now, because once you hit execute now, it executes now. Copy, self-explanatory, test, rules, and results. Let me talk about results before I talk about rules. Now, results will show you the results of your broadcast campaign that you have just sent. Very, very powerful. Now, it is at this time where I'm going to log out and log in as an actual user who uses broadcast campaigns extensively. And I'll show you the results. She's gracious enough to let us use her system for this reason. Hey, broadcast campaigns. Like I said, she's a champ. She creates broadcast campaigns all over the place. For example, okay, this is what she just created. You can see the blocks, article detail, introduction, article. Okay, so she's completed this. Now she sent this. So what I want to show you is the results. Very powerful. Look at this. She sent it to 1,172 leads, 209 opened them, 0 click, 0 bounce, 2 unsubscribed, 0 spam, 91 dropped. Dropped and bounced are very indicative of incorrect email addresses network anomalies on both sides, either your side or the receiver side. Those are the two big ones that come into play when you see bounced and dropped. Now, here's a very important one, unsubscribed. Okay, now incidentally, any of these numbers that you see, you could drill down further and see who unsubscribed. Okay, very important. So you know that these are unsubscribed. What else happens? When someone unsubscribes from your campaign, there's a little record, there's a little field in the contact subrecord which is called email status. And what that does is that when you go to send another campaign, it's going to go and check the email status of these customers, and you will see that it's changed it to opted out. Once again, protecting yourself from spam laws, so you can rest assured that even if this person is in that filter, or even if this person is in that group, they will not get an email broadcast from you because this is opted out. And if they call you and say, you know what, I really wanted I didn't want it opt out. I'm sorry, and I like your stuff. I want you to keep sending me. You have to go to the contact record of that lead and make it opted in. Okay, very simple. So that's what it's really cool about the broadcast campaigns and the spam that we built in, the protection that we built into it. Okay, now I'm going to get out of here and go back to my training account. Now, as we were talking about in the broadcast campaigns, you can see that these are all the ones that we have created. Just like Excel, you can put these by date order. Okay, you could alphabetize these A to Z, Z to A, however you'd want to do it. So here's the one that we were working on. Okay, now there is one thing in here that I didn't talk about yet, and that's rules. What are rules? Let me click on rules. Well, rules are very important. I think they're more important in touch campaigns than they are in broadcast campaigns, and I'll share with you why I think that. But what rules do, primarily, they say if you have a URL link in your marketing template or your broadcast campaign, and I showed you how to insert that URL link, if you have one there and someone clicks on it, you can choose to have something happen. Okay, that's part of the rules. For example, if you had a URL link in there and you wanted to, if they clicked on the link, you wanted to change them to another group, okay, you could add to a group, move to a group, or remove from the group. Some important distinctions here. If you add them to a group, they will stay into the group they currently are, and they'll be added to another group. If you move to a group, they will not remain into the group they previously were in. They'll be taken out of that group, and they'll be put into the new group. Remove from group, self-explanatory. So if you do this, it's going to show you your groups, and then you will add them to that group. Okay. Now, there's also a couple other things that you could do. If that link is clicked, notify who sent it, the sales rep, the user. Add a note into the account of who clicked it. So if you send it to 30 people and Bill Jones is one of the 30 and he clicked on it, it's going to add a note into his account saying Bill Jones clicked on this URL. Why is that important? Because when you pull up your leads, you say, wow, you know, Bill Jones had an interest. He had an interest in my URL. Maybe I want to contact him. Maybe I want to send him another one. Okay? Or you can add tasks. We all know what tasks are. All right. So then I'm going to go back. Okay. So that is the broadcast campaign side of it. That's how you, okay, once again to recap, we created our marketing template. We chose from the 4 categories We created our marketing template. We saved it. We opened up the broadcast campaign, and we added the marketing template, and we selected it, we personalized it, and we executed it. Okay, so that's gone. Now, you would say, okay, and maybe, you know, in a couple minutes, depending on how size your group, a couple minutes, you go and you can start checking the results. The results are instantaneously. They don't take a specific period of time to show up. Once they are sent, then they start showing up. So if you'll see the number they were sent to, and then as people start clicking, that number will automatically increment as people click, or as people unsubscribe, or as people open. Okay, so it's usually a good idea to wait a little bit before you say, okay, this is my final result. Now, let me go and talk to you about touch campaigns. Touch campaigns are very, very similar to broadcast campaigns. However, what a touch campaign is, it's a series of marketing templates that you have created that go out in daily intervals that you choose. Now, I'm going to add one, and I'm going to call it Touch This Webinar. Okay, same thing applies. Group, contact, lead filter. We'll choose a group this time. Sent to the AOC group. Okay, start date, very important. You have to remember to put a start date in here. Click on that. It's going to give you your calendar. Pick this day right there. Okay. Now, categories. Once again, we did a marketing template. Now we got to find webinar now. Okay, and then select. Now it's important in a touch campaign, obviously, because you're sending more than one template out, that you have your templates designed that can go out. For example, some of you have already heard this. I use it often. We have a health food company as our customer, and they send a touch campaign to their clients, 7 days of healthy eating. So every day, their customers get an email with a healthy food recipe. Okay, so with that, they have 7 templates, and then they'll have another 7 templates. So you can see how these templates are important to keep, and you can have a gazillion of them. There's no limit to how many templates you can have. Okay, so now we're going to create a touch campaign. We have message 1. Well, I want to add another one. So if I click on the plus sign, okay, and I'm going to go choose my template, because we've created a million of them, and I'm going to select that one. Then I want to add message 3. I'm going to choose my template because we have a million of them. And then I'm going to choose another template. Why? Because we have a million of them. Okay, now, I think you get the idea on creating these. Couple nuances I want to talk to you about. This is the first one. As you can see right here, it goes as soon as this date is reached. The first one goes out at this date. No ifs, ands, or buts. This is when it goes out. The second one is when you can start choosing when you want this to go out. Okay, you can make this 3 days. You can make it 12 days. You make it whatever you want, but it's important to understand that this interval is 12 days from the previous message, not from the start, from the previous message. So let's make this 12, and then let's make this one 3. Now what I'm showing you here, this message goes out now. When this date and time is reached, it goes out now. 12 days later, this one's going to go out. 3 days after this one went out, this one's going to go out. Okay? So it's important to realize that it's not from the start of message 1. I'm going to save this. All right. You'll see the same boxes up here. They do the same things, okay? Save, copy, copy message, test message, rules, results, execute. Okay, rules. As I said earlier, I think rules they come into play a little more with touch campaigns than broadcast. I think the rules in touch campaign give you a little more bang for your buck than broadcast campaigns. Here's why. If I click on rules, the first thing you're going to see is 4 messages. That's your 4 messages right here. So what you can do is you can have specific rules for each message. Now, why is this important? Say that you were going to put a touch campaign out, inviting someone to a workshop, inviting someone to see your product, inviting someone for something. And in message 1, you had a URL that said, click here to register. Okay? Now, if they register, do you want them to get messages 2, 3, and 4? Probably not. Because they're going to get message 2, which is going to continue to tell them about your workshop, but they've already registered, so why would you want that to happen? There might be a reason. I couldn't find one. But why would you want that to happen? So what you can do is you can say message 1, click on the rule, message 1. Now, follow me here. This is cool. If the link is clicked on message 1, they want to register, they're going to click the link. Message 1. Now what I want to do is I want to change them into a group. I want to move them into a group called Joe Campaign. What does this do? All right, track this. Now, I already have a touch campaign running for Joe Campaign. And what it is, it's directions to the workshop. And then the third one, or the second message in Joe Campaign is something else pertinent to that workshop. Okay, so what happens, bam, in message 1, they click the link that wants them to register. Okay, now, once they click that link, they're moved to Joe Campaign. Now, then the first message of Joe Campaign is directions. Now, it's important to note that no matter where the touch campaign is, as far as everyone else getting the messages, it will automatically start at message 1 when a new person is added. Touch campaigns don't stop. They're always in the background running until you stop them. Okay? So they will start getting message 1, and then it will follow the intervals for Joe Campaign once, and it will run until they are finished. So what happened here is that you had originally a touch campaign which we set up, and then they clicked on the link. We created a rule to change them into a different group, which had another touch campaign running, which further illustrated the link that they clicked on. So very powerful that you have that capability. Okay, now that's the rules for the touch campaign. Very important that you understand the rules, and very important that you know that a touch campaign runs until you stop it. Okay, so that's how you could use the rules to your advantage. So that is what I wanted to talk about as far as these four things regarding templates and campaigns. You have a lot of flexibility in these things. You have a lot of reasons to use them. You should have a stable full of marketing and sales templates at your disposal, so anytime you want to click on an email address, bam, you could send it. Okay, easy, very easy. All right, now the last thing I wanted to talk about, we have about 15 minutes left, and then I'm going to unmute everybody and we can start asking questions, is I want to talk about this thing right here, this help button. Very often it's not seen. Very often it's ignored. Very often it just kind of hangs out there and it feels lonely. And when it feels lonely, I get sad. So I want to talk about it. Okay, if you click on this help button, a bevy of things. Okay, you have, and a lot of people know this, I understand, For those that don't, I want to just briefly chalk talk it. Okay, you have a lot of things that you can do right now. You can have your knowledge base. Okay, now your knowledge base, if I click on knowledge base, it's going to show you articles. I've personally written over 100 of them. Okay, or you could do a search. Sorry. Okay. Sales templates. It's going to show you everything I did just now. Campaign rules, we talked about that. Okay. Very, very important. And we constantly update these and add more. So it's important to check back and look what we have here. Okay, community forum. Very, very cool. Users helping users. That's the way I do it. So if you find something or you find a little trick that works for you, we encourage you, share it. Share it with others, because others, they're probably going to run into the same thing, or they will appreciate your efforts. So, wow, look at this. This person found it, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. So, users helping users. Okay, the user guide, it's the same thing as the knowledge base, but it's indexed for you. Okay, so you can click on any one of these, and you will get that topic. Videos. They're just what they are. They're videos. Incidentally, when you're going through your different things and you'll see a camera icon, that means there's a video available for that topic. Okay. Now, contact support, that's the last one. I know a lot of you are familiar with this, but what I want to tell you about this is that I want to see recommendations. We include so many recommendations from customers. I would say over 65% of the recommendations we get from customers we implement. It could be very simple. We had one customer in the United States that it really bugged them that they had to put the space between the phone numbers or the brackets. So we fixed that for them. Very simple. Very easy. A lot of people think, well, I'm not going to say that. It's stupid. It's dumb. No, it's not. We want to see your recommendations here, because we look at them. Every recommendation undergoes a feasibility study. Here at SoftWorld, we don't believe in scheduled software releases or upgrades. If you see something and you want it implemented and it's important to you, we're going to get it done, and we're not going to wait for a scheduled release 3 months from now. No, you'll see it in less than 30 days. Okay, so that's the contact support. Very powerful. There's a lot of information here for you. Now, with that, I'm going to open it up, and we can start asking questions. Let me get this opened up real quick.
New person.
Okay, I think we're live. Okay, guys, what do we have for questions?
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
It's Jared.
Hi, Jared. How you doing, buddy?
Good. I put a question in the chat.
Okay, you have a question?
Yeah, I typed it in the chat. I didn't know if you saw that.
I'm sorry, Jared, I didn't hear you. Jared, are you still with me?
Yeah.
I can't hear you. Oh, you got a question. Oh, okay. Okay, here it is. Okay, is this the one right here? How do we know they registered after they click the link? Say, for instance, if they register on a different website like Eventbrite, we put the link in the email. Right now, currently, we don't have a way of tracking if they registered on Eventbrite. Eventbrite will have that to you. We can link you to Eventbrite, but we are going to be doing integration for Eventbrite and I believe constant contact.
Yeah, what?
Okay, I think Helene had one. Oh. Helene, are you still aboard us?
Hello?
Hello, Helene?
Yes, hi.
Hi, do you have a question?
Yeah, when we're adding records, is it possible to add them to 2 or 3 groups at the same time, rather than come out the record and have to do it?
When you're up, do you want to be able to add your leads and records into multiple groups?
Yes, as I'm adding a new lead, I'd like to create a lead and also be able to put them in maybe 2 groups at the same time. And at the moment, I seem to have to be able to come out.
Okay, so I want to create a lead.
I can add a...
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, that's how you would do it.
All right, okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And they can belong, incidentally, they can belong to as many groups as you want them to belong to. Okay, Elaine?
Yes?
What do you have? Do you have a question for me?
No, I've just given you one. No more, thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay, do we have any other questions? All right, folks. Thank you for joining the webinar. We're going to have more of these. We're going to have, I think the next one's going to be on, it's going to be on web forms, and also it's going to be on creating custom fields. So stay tuned. We'll be getting a broadcast from me telling you the date time. So with that, I'm going to let everyone go.
Thank you.
Okay, have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you. All right. Bye, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.